Amidst some technical difficulties, the Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow podcast is here live right now. And I promised you all some Black girl magic. So I'm going to bring it to you. Our special guest for today is an international professional soccer player. She was a member of the Canada women's national soccer team. She is now the assistant coach for St. Louis University, and she also has 2 master's degrees, one in athletic coaching education and the other one in sports management. So we want to welcome Bryanna McCarthy. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Super happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem. Thank you for being here again. It really is a pleasure to speak with you today. How are you enjoying St. Louis so far?
St. Louis is great. I came for my interview back in March of this year, and I was here on a Monday and a Tuesday. They flew me in. I was in and out in 36 hours. That was my first time in St. Louis, and the entire time I was here, I fell in love. I was like, the St. Louis University, the campus, the city. Katie who's my head coach, she kind of drove me around. We just got a good feel for the area. I met the girls, which was super important. And yeah, I think on the flight home, I knew that this was where I wanted to be. And then a couple days later, they called me and offered me the job. And then COVID happened. And it's still happening, obviously. So my actual start date got pushed back a little bit, but everything just ended up being perfect timing. My time here in St. Louis, I moved here July 1st was my first actual day in town, and big transition after having moved from Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, so that in itself was a whole transition, but overall, absolutely loving my time in St. Louis so far. I found an apartment. I'm getting acquainted with my area. I go for runs at the Gateway Art.
That's where I met you at, yeah.
And so just like getting to know the area has been super fun. Obviously, it's a little bit different. I'm sure things look a little different because of everything that's been going on, but other than that, I'm loving it.
I was going to say, I can't wait for you to get a chance to see everything in full swing, especially here downtown. So it's pretty lively. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So, so I met you a couple of weeks ago down at the Arch. I was getting ready to train my crew, and you were down there jogging, and you ran up to us, and it was a good experience. I was like, oh yeah, we got to have her on the show. So again,
she was very excited. She came back home. She was like, I met this girl. She's this soccer player, and she's got these big guns.
You said that. You saw a picture. You was like, look at those guns. But yeah, you are like,
okay, maybe I was excited. All right.
So yeah, then after that, I did the Google, and I found out so much information. I was like, oh my goodness, she's even more exciting than I thought. So glad you're here again with us today. As you mentioned before, you are originally from Canada by way of West Virginia. And how long have you actually lived in the U.S.?
So I first came to the U.S. to start my undergraduate degree back in 2009. So I lived here from 2009 to 2012. I was in Morgantown. And then 2013, I actually moved. That's when I started my professional playing career. And I was living in Rochester, New York. Actually, technically, I was living in Buffalo, but the team I played for, we played out of Rochester. So it's like an hour. So we'd kind of go back and forth. So that was my first professional season. I played for the Western New York Flash of the NWSL, and that was the league's first year coming back. They had 2 previous attempts at a professional women's soccer league in the United States that failed. So they had this new structure in place that was hopefully supposed to financially keep the NWSL afloat. And I think they're going into their 10th season, maybe 7th season. So it's a model that I think at the time definitely worked out well. Now it's been an uphill battle for them. Women's soccer players they don't make men's soccer player money. They barely even make, any athlete money. But at the end of the day, I mean, people do it because they love it. And so it's it's definitely just been like an adventure. Adventure.
Yeah, I can tell. Just looking at like Xolani mentioned, we had watched some of your highlight videos, and I can tell because you're just a very powerful player, and I was like, she's definitely passionate about what she does.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we saw some of that footage, and you was just blazing through it, and some girl tried to tackle you, and you was like, "Oh, ain't nothing," you brush it off or whatever. He's like, "Oh," then you went for the assist, and do they call it assist? Is that another basketball term, or is it called?
I mean, that's a term in soccer as well. You can assist somebody who scores.
Because I know some of the terminology is
yeah, no, I was a defender for most of my adult career. So scoring goals was a dime a dozen, but when I did score, it was definitely always a good time. But I think I might lead or be in the top for like assists at WVU throughout my college career. So that's kind of cool. Loved my time in Morgantown. But then spent 4 years there. And then 1 year in New York. And then that's when I moved to Germany for 3 years. And then after that, I came back here. Well, not here. I went back to Morgantown and was there for another 3 years. And now I'm here.
Okay. Oh, I lost sound. Okay. So that's an interesting roller coaster ride just in itself. So,
I know. I haven't been in one place in so long.
But that's a good thing. That is a good thing. You got to experience a lot of different places. Yeah. So what I want to do is take it back to the very beginning when you were a little girl. When did you first start playing soccer, and when did you know that you really loved soccer and you wanted that to be your sport?
Well, to be honest with you, so growing up, my parents were really big on me doing something. It didn't necessarily have to be a sport, but it had to be something that kept me busy outside of school. Okay. And so that was from the jump, it was always going to be sports. I was super athletic. My dad, fun fact, my parents, for the longest time, they thought I was a boy. Like when they went to get ultrasounds, all this stuff, they're like, oh yeah, like boy. I came out girl, very much girl. And my dad, I think, was low-key heartbroken, but then I filled that void with how tomboy I was growing up, because we would go to the park, we'd play catch, we'd play football, we'd play soccer, we'd play basketball. So I knew sports was where I was gonna be drawn towards. And growing up, I played just about every sport. My parents kind of let me touch everything from a really early age, and I started soccer probably at 4, 5.
Okay.
And it's like the tiny little Timbits, where they run around bumblebee soccer and they don't really know what they're doing, but I liked it,
Got to start somewhere.
Growing up in Canada, I played hockey. That's not your typical sport. And do I love it? No, I don't think it's a great sport. I personally don't enjoy it. I'll watch it if it's on. But I did a little bit of everything. I loved gymnastics, loved basketball. Listen, if I was a little bit taller, I probably would have stuck with basketball.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was taller.
Listen. I wish. But no, probably around 8 or 9, I was like, okay, soccer's it. This is what I want to do. And just, put all my energy into it. I'm so blessed. My parents, at that point too, and 8 or 9 was when my sister came around. So there's 9 years between us. But from that point onwards, because my sister was so young, my parents were able to literally help me develop and devote so much time and taking me to practices and stuff like that. By the time I was 13, I was playing on a provincial team, which meant we were traveling 2 hours there, 2 hours back to go to training 3 or 4 times a week. So it was, it got pretty intense pretty quickly. And that's where my youth days is where I kind of definitely, I think I peaked early. So I had a youth stint with the Canadian national team, played on the U17 national team, played in the first ever World Cup in New Zealand back in 2000 and what year was that? 7? Played in 2 World Cups. Such a great experience.
Wow.
And then as I kind of transitioned into playing with the senior national team, just have gotten to travel so much, and just so many great experiences. such a blessing, such a blessing. So yeah, I knew from like an early age that soccer was it.
Okay. So, and you kind of answered my next question, which was, your involvement in other sports. So you mentioned gymnastics, basketball. So if you weren't playing, I know you said basketball if you were taller. If you weren't playing soccer, what would you see yourself doing as far as athletic?
Honestly, if I wasn't playing soccer and I wasn't in athletics at all, like if it wasn't soccer, it'd be basketball if I was taller. If it wasn't that, maybe tennis. I loved tennis as a kid, but I never like got into it. I'm not good at it. I have a friend back in Morgantown. We'd go and hit balls, and she was way better than I was. So yeah, I'll play every now and then, but I'm not that good. But if I wasn't in athletics at all, I think I would get into acting. I'm like camera shy a little bit, but then I also, once I get comfortable, I feel like I get really just like it's like having a conversation. It's super normal to me. So yeah, I've always loved the showbiz entertainment side of
you seem to have a very bubbly personality, so I could definitely see that in you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, people tell me that. So I'm like,
I can see it. I can definitely see it. Now, tell us about your athletic journey. I know you told us a little bit, as far as you gave us a little bit of history. Is there anything else to add on to that as far as your complete athletic journey from there to where you are now?
Let me see. Well, growing up, so I mean, maybe just the transition of my position that I played. I grew up playing soccer, and I was a forward for years and years. I led the league in my hometown, well, in the whole province really, which is like our state in Canada, in goals as a youth. But then when I got to college, I got transitioned into becoming a defender, which in the soccer world, a lot of forwards get transitioned into being defenders because I don't know why, actually. I should know this now that I'm in the whole coaching world. It's crazy because ex-forwards always make the best outside backs. It's a true statement. It's something that I hated at first, but I got so excited as I started to learn the position a little bit better, and kind of just get comfortable with it. So yeah, I mean, other than that transition, that was like a big deal in my life, the transition from being a forward to a defender. But yeah, I mean, just my college days, I had such an amazing experience. My time at West Virginia, I mean, I canceled the rest of my visits. I had visits to other Florida schools, and after I visited West Virginia, I called up the coach on my way home, and it's about a 5.5, 6-hour drive from Morgantown, West Virginia to my hometown in Toronto. And I called her on the way home. We weren't even across the border yet. And I was like, yeah, no, I loved it. I think I want to come. And the rest was history. I canceled my visits to Florida State, Miami, all the other Southern schools that I was like, that's too far anyways. And now here I am in Missouri, 15 hours from home. So I guess now it doesn't matter. I'm kind of an adult. So it's not as much of a concern to be so far away from home, but I got new homes. So
that's what's up.
She's about to be leading these young folks in college, and she says, I'm kind of an adult.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm 42 and I still feel like I'm kind of an adult. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
like I have those moments where it's like, I did adult things today.
Yeah, like adulting is hard.
It is. I agree with you on that. And if you all are just joining us, we are speaking with Bryanna McCarthy, who is an international soccer star. I love saying it, international soccer star. And she is now the assistant coach for the women's soccer team at St. Louis University. And just happy to have her here. And again, if you are watching, please give us a like, give us a share this good content. And also, if you are watching us on YouTube, also please give us a subscribe and also a like, and hit that notification bell so that you know when we have something coming up next. Anything you want to add to that?
You covered it all.
I covered it all. I'm getting good at this. All right. So I want to get down to some business. So you are a young woman of color, and I would imagine that not a whole lot of people who look like you shared the field with you. were there any barriers or hurdles that you endured throughout the years of playing soccer? What was that experience like, both in Canada and in the US?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, growing up, I want to say that growing up, it was never a factor, you know.
Okay.
I'd be lying if that's my optimistic glass half full view of things.
No, we want the whole truth. So yeah.
But here's the thing is, the way I was raised, the way my parents have always have brought me up is to always assume the best in people. And as I've gotten older, it's a tough realization that is not always how it seems.
Okay.
So when I look back on it and I think about when I was growing up, like, especially in Canada, a lot of people are surprised when I say this, but I never felt like a blatant minority. Like, my high school was very diverse. Toronto, well, I live just outside of Toronto in Ajax, which is on the east end of the city, and it's super diverse. I hate when people are like, "There's Black people in Canada," and I'm like,
"Oh no, I definitely,
lots of them."
There's a strong island presence in Canada. I know that for a fact. Yeah.
So I'm a first generation Canadian. So both of my parents are immigrants. My dad was born in Jamaica. My mom was born in St. Vincent. And they both came to Canada. My dad when he was 9 years old. My mom when she was 12.
Okay.
My mom has not been back to St. Vincent since. My dad goes back because his father is still there and we still have family. My grandparents, my grandmother was born, on my mom's side, was born in Trinidad, and my grandfather in St. Vincent, but my grandma was raised in Barbados. So I've got a ton of family just throughout the islands.
A lot of island connections.
Yes. A lot of island connections. And it's the same for plenty of my friends that some of my best friends growing up. Two of them they were born in Jamaica. So, but everybody just seems to migrate to Canada. My dad's sister actually just recently migrated to Canada from Jamaica. And so, yeah, if somebody were to ask me, where I'm from, I'll tell them I'm Canadian. That is born and raised Canadian. But my culture, my background is West Indian. That Caribbean, all the islands. That's what I relate to. That's home for me.
So do you get a chance to go back to any of the islands or anything like that?
I've been back to Trinidad and Tobago. I actually went for soccer, but got to connect with some family while I was there. I've been back to Jamaica. I haven't been back. When I was younger, we used to go back to Jamaica almost every year. My dad, we would go back. His grandmother, who just recently passed, she was still living there. His father still lives there. So when we go back, my dad has land in Jamaica. But no, I haven't been back, not since I was 13, 14. So it's been a while. Okay. Yeah, I definitely, I'm due. I think, honestly,
well, let me know when you go back. I'm jumping in your luggage.
Yeah, if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would have gone this summer, to be honest with you. But hopefully by the end of the year, things are all, I think Jamaica would be a perfect place for me to go celebrate, but my first, hopefully we get through this season and we get to have a season with athletics at SLU this year. And then I think December would be a perfect time to celebrate all the hopefully hard work I put in. So I'm hoping to get back soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, I'm going in your luggage. So
yeah. All good. Come on through.
So tell us about your exciting new position with SLU that you have acquired. You can start wherever you want to, from the beginning. How did that process start?
Well, so here's the thing. So SLU and I stumbled upon each other.
Okay.
I was originally, after I retired from soccer 3 years ago, about 3.5 years ago, I always knew when I was done playing that I wanted to get into coaching. So I called up my old head coach who I played for, Nikki Izzo Brown, at West Virginia University. And she's going to go in the Hall of Fame. She is one of the top women's soccer coaches in the country. She's incredible. So I knew if I wanted to get back into coaching that I had to get on board with her. So, I said, Nick, like, I want to coach. Like, what do you got? And she was like, come be my graduate assistant. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I've been back at West Virginia, my alma mater, and been a grad assistant there for the last 3 years.
Okay.
With that, and obviously my position as a graduate assistant, obviously once I'm done school, I need a real job, you know? So the thing that was just tough with there is, and me being Canadian, is getting a visa, all that stuff. So we started a process through WVU to try and get me a work visa to stay. And I was going to join the staff as a director of operations, which in the grand scheme of things is not necessarily what I wanted to do, but it gave me the opportunity to still be around Nikki, be around that winning program, that championship program in WVU that, you know, were national title runner-up in 2016, have won, you know, over 20 conference championships between the Big East and the Big 12. Just a winning program, you know? So that opportunity to still be around, but not necessarily doing what I wanted to do, was still everything to me, because I knew Nikki would always go to bat and trying to advance me in my career. Sure enough, and it felt like I was just battling a whole lot of adversity and letdowns. The visa application that we put through got denied. And that was for that specific position. I still had an opportunity to go and pursue coaching positions other places, but that was my hope, was to be there and have that experience, because I knew getting into the coaching world, despite having, you know, a decent playing resume to go off of, coaching experience is what's really going to get you that big job, land you that quality position. There's so many schools out there between Division I, Division II, Division III, so many conferences, Power 5, mid-majors. And so it was just the big unknown for me. I didn't know where to start in that whole realm of figuring out what I wanted. And it's also what's available. And it's also who's going to hire somebody that they're going to have to sponsor for a visa. That was the worst part. So after my visa situation didn't work out with WVU, and I knew that I had to start that process, it was like, oh, this daunting, where I'm going through and looking at listings, and it's like different postings, job postings. And it's like, okay, will not sponsor for visa, will not sponsor for visa, will not sponsor for visa. And that's the thing, is because coaching, especially here in the United States, you know, you get people from all over, from Europe, from Canada, that are coming here just to coach. So it's a tough window to break into. And so just keeping that in mind and knowing that, you know, I had to be that much better, or just prove myself to be that valuable to a program that they're going to go out of their way to have to pay more money to sponsor me, to be able to hire me. And so one day I'm like going through my search and I see SLU pop up. And so the strange connection there is that the head coach that I work for, Nikki Izzo Brown, she's got a daughter who just recently committed and is off to go do great things at Auburn. But in her daughter's recruiting process, SLU was trying to recruit her. And so Nikki, who is, again, like, so it's funny. So they actually didn't know that it was Nikki Izzo Brown's daughter. And like in the soccer world, I know that name means nothing to you guys probably, but Nikki Izzo Brown, it holds weight in the soccer community. But they had no idea that that's whose daughter they were recruiting at the time. So anyways, you know, Nikki gets to come on an official visit. Now this is her oldest child. She's never gone on the visit. All she knows is West Virginia soccer. So she gets to come and see SLU, and she experienced it as a mother. And she came back and this was before the whole me and SLU connecting. She came back, she's like, I love SLU. I think it's great. It's a great program. That staff is incredible, all this stuff. So now we fast forward like a couple months, and her daughter, she loved SLU, but her daughter ends up picking Auburn, is going to Auburn. I walk in and I'm like, Nick, I applied to SLU last night. She goes, I'm going to call Katie right now, who's the head coach here. And so they get on the phone, chit chat, and she's like, I got Brianna McCarthy, my graduate assistant, here for you. Like, and Katie goes, tell her to call me like tomorrow, like 9 a.m. Like, we got to talk. And so I call Katie and we get to talking, and it was a super casual conversation, but it was my phone interview. And I mean, we just kicked it off. We totally clicked on so many different things. I love what she's doing with this program. It is, I mean, she has turned it around. She's been here 7 years, I believe, started as an assistant coach. She's extremely educated herself. She's a Harvard grad. She was a goalkeeper. She played or helped out with the Boston Breakers. She's incredible. Chris Allen, who's the other assistant, wonderful, like just beautiful people. And so after that phone conversation, you know, she was like, I want to get you on campus. Like, we want to bring you in for an interview. And then I came. This was back in March, the week before COVID blew up. And yeah, I was in and out super quick, but loved it. And they called me. So I love this part. So I was in on a Monday, left on Tuesday night, and on Thursday they called me and offered me the job. They were like, we had somebody else come in after you, and they're like, we don't even know why, because after you left, so I got to, on my interview, I got to sit down and talk with the girls. I got to meet some of the staff around the athletic department, sat down with the athletic director, Christopher May, and just incredible experience. I think on my end and on their end, the moment I stepped on campus, I was like, this feels good, really, really good. After a couple other opportunities that I was also hoping didn't work out, and I was like, this is God right here. They're like, this, this is where you're supposed to be, Bree. So yeah, I mean, everything just fell into place so perfectly. And even though COVID kind of delayed everything, it still couldn't have worked out any better. So I mean, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I'm so excited to get started with the girls.
Thrilled to have you.
Yeah, and it's been such a great experience. So St. Louis has been good to me so far.
That is good. That is so good. Now, with everything that you have going on in your life, because like I just heard everything that you said, do you take any time out for self-care? I ask everybody. This is kind of the one question I ask everybody.
No,
so what is your
it.
self-care routine?
So do you watch the show Insecure?
I haven't, you know what? I haven't yet to see that show, but I hear so much about it. I probably would know exactly what you're talking about if you say it.
Self-care Sunday. That is like something you gotta like swear
that sounds
by.
like my life, actually.
Yeah, like now since COVID, I've been able to really keep up with Self-Care Sunday. Now, sometimes the day changes, but I like Sundays because Sundays, like, that's your day of rest. That's your day where you get to rejuvenate, get ready for the week. I love a good bath. I'm big on baths.
Baths are good.
Yeah. Some sea salt.
Oh yeah.
Coconut oil in the water.
That is my kind of party. Yes.
Yeah. Get some bath salts going. Yeah, a good bubble bath. And in terms of like skincare, I mean, shea butter is like gold in my apartment. It's a beautiful thing. Coconut oil, put it on your hair, skin, nails, cuticles, like you name it.
And in your food.
And in your food, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I recently got a jade roller for your face. So I have a 24 karat gold like serum that I got from TJ Maxx. It's nothing crazy, but like it makes me feel good, and it makes my face feel like it's like tingling, and like, but a good tingling, like with a glow to it. So I recently did a turmeric face mask that I saw on YouTube. It was like turmeric, coconut milk. Yeah. So I'll like try new things. In terms of my hair, I'll do like a good hair mask. I recently just tried Taraji P. Henson's clay mask, and I loved it. I think you can buy it at Target, but yeah, that was good because it's all natural under here. This is a wig, but yeah. So
that's how you do it.
Yeah. No. Whether I'm wearing my hair natural or wearing a wig or braids. Remember, I was even asking.
That's how we met.
Like how we met. I was like, you ladies look like you know somebody who can braid real well. So I just moved here. I need the hookup. Right. So yeah, no, absolutely. But I think it's super important to always take a day to just take care of yourself. And because I mean, I had this motto when I was playing too, is look good, feel good, play good. And strange enough, like, and it's different because, I'm not saying I played soccer with like pounds of makeup on, but like I need to like feel like I look good. I need to feel confident. Obviously, like regardless of the fact that I'm sweaty and messy, like I still have to feel like, I had certain game day routines. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a very routine person. So like there's certain stuff that needed to be done. I tie my left shoelace before I tie my right always. Like it's just little stuff like that But, you know, depending how my ponytail was, if I did a braid, if I did like how I did that, it had to be very particular. And so, yeah, I think I'm a pretty routine person in that regard. So yeah, having a self-care Sunday day or self-care Tuesday, if that's the day that I have time to do it, then I think taking that time to do something for my skin, for my hair, for my body, for me is super important. And I just recently became a little bit of a yogi, so I love doing yoga, lots of stretching, some Pilates movements. Cause yeah, I don't want to be in the gym like lifting. And like we were talking about,
you don't need to.
That's what I'm saying is I don't. Yeah.
If I was a mesomorph like you, wouldn't be no need for any type of resistance.
Yes, I just need to maintain what I have. I'm not trying to. Gone are my playing days. I don't need to build muscle. I just need to maintain what I have.
Right.
So.
See, y'all watching, y'all don't see it because she's got on this comfortable looking hoodie, but
super comfy.
I'm telling you, like, and I know y'all have seen, you know, people have seen me
like on 100. I can't even explain it. You just have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, people have seen me, and I'm looking at her like, yo, I'm trying to get my arms like that. Seen her on the field, I'm like, yo, them quads are like just killing it. I needs that, like. Makes me think, but you know, like you said, it's genetics because I'm looking at it like, okay, what am I not doing?
We're gonna actually get to that in just a second too, you know, and talking about, you know, just advice for people who want to live a healthier lifestyle and everything. Before we get to that, I want to ask, do you believe in, because you've had an amazing life so far, and you're still a young lady, so, but you've had
still living.
you've had, you know, one heck of an amazing life. Do you believe in manifestation and law of attraction, and do you think that has played a part in everything that has happened thus far with your career?
Absolutely. So at an early age, like I was saying, when I was like 13, 14, I started with a provincial team, and one of my coaches, his name is Brian Rosenfeld. I actually need to connect with him because he is a huge factor as to why I wanted to coach. Nikki was for sure one of the main biggest ones because she's a female, seeing her in that leading role. But Brian Rosenfeld was one of my coaches growing up, and he started as my provincial coach. He was then my national team coach. He was somebody who challenged us at a really early age. I felt so beyond my years at like 13, 14, because he was teaching us about the law of attraction. He was teaching us, you know, we watched The Secret as a team. We read the book. And I think that was something that became so important to me at an early age. And I feel like I had this mindset that no matter what, I was always going to achieve my goals. Like, I never thought about failure. I think I did, but then the moment it came in, it's like, failure. Yeah.
Right.
Get out of here. Like, we're not doing that. So
I like how you said that. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Not today.
Not today.
So not today. No. So I think, law of attraction. So this whole manifestation thing, I feel like they're both one and the same. But there was the quote in the saying, believe you can and you're halfway there. And that's really all it is. You know, I think that obviously, and especially as a young Black woman, you don't want to put yourself in a box, but you know that there's a ceiling. You know that there's a ceiling. You know that there's that tipping point, and it's just a matter of just believing and keep cracking at it, and you're gonna break it. And it's just a matter of when. Don't worry about the how. Another great coach of mine used to say, Bree, like, don't worry about, you know, what you're bringing to the picnic. Just get there. And then once you get there, unload your basket of all your weapons, all your baguettes, he's like, pull out all the big boys to the picnic. You just got to get there first. And so I think for myself and over the last couple of years, it's just been about getting there. And SLU is I'm here. SLU is my picnic. And this is my first opportunity to really showcase my passion for coaching. I mean, I got to do that at WVU The only thing was I was in a graduate assistant position. I was in the background. I was doing a lot of the grunt work, the heavy lifting, the stuff that didn't really, I mean, trust me, I was very appreciated. The girls, you know, and as a former alumni, the girls, we leaned on each other. They definitely respected me. They treated me amazing. I adore those girls with all my heart. But now I get to do it with a name behind it, with a title behind it. My name has always been Bree McCarthy, but now I'm assistant coach Bree McCarthy at St. Louis University.
Coach Bree.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah,
coach.
yeah. And so I am. Oh, I don't want to get emotional. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So yeah, I mean, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited about just making an impact with this program, with this university, with this community, and just hopefully just being able to be a voice, be a leader, and yeah, just do my part. Just do my part.
That's what's up. Well, doing it. You're doing it.
Trying.
No, you're doing it. See, that's that law of attraction. We're not gonna say trying. You are.
I know. See, I'm in my mind, like no one can stop me. But sometimes I portray and say like, "Oh, it's good." Like, but in my mind, it's like, "Yeah, no, I know I'm gonna do it."
Yeah. Words are powerful.
Yeah.
Words are powerful.
Yes.
So we gotta just put it out there like that, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference. So we gotta.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're there. You are there.
Yep, you got to be your biggest motivator, and we can tell that you are. Like I said, we saw you on the field. We see the amazing things that you got going on, and being international, coming from that cold place up north.
Yeah, it's
Toronto.
It is amazing. Yeah. So, and we just talked about before a little bit, you know, looking at you, you're obviously very fit woman, and definitely a powerful athlete. I know that you said, we kind of joked about it before. You was like, yeah, the weightlifting and all of that stuff isn't for me. So do you have a fitness and nutrition regimen that you follow?
I wouldn't say that it's like, I mean, nutrition, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I work out now in order to be able to eat the things that I like. Okay. Nutrition at a point in time as an elite athlete is super important. When I was playing, I was on a very strict diet. Well, not very strict, but strict enough to the point that I was very conscious of the things I was putting in my body. I'd say the fittest I ever was when I was living in Germany, just because I cooked all my meals. Fast food is not like a big thing in Europe, so it's just like
that's good.
And it's good. It is good, and I think my life slowed down so significantly when I was in Europe, and then when I come back here, it's like fast everything, and I'm like, oh my god. So I get a little caught up with convenience at times. But in terms of like a set regimen, no. But I love to, if I know I'm gonna have a big workout, I know I'm gonna run a lot, which really only happens a couple times a week, if that. I mean, I like to load up on carbs. That's where I know I'm gonna get my energy from, for the most part. I love fruits. I make smoothies all the time. Love a good smoothie.
I like smoothies.
Yeah, love a good
my
smoothie.
Evening snack. Yeah.
Yeah, love a good smoothie. And in terms of fitness, right now I am, for the month of June, so I joined like a Nike run club, and it was run 50 miles for the month of July.
Okay.
Yeah, for the whole month. Yeah. So I'm
that sounds doable.
I think I'm at like, well, what's today, the 12th? I think I'm almost there. I think I'm at like 33 or 34 for the month so far. So I know I'll get it, but like now it's just like, oh, once I get to 50 miles, I'm like, I did the goal, so I'm good. But I have, right now, as I'm just exploring and have a lot of downtime, I feel like working out it's fun. Working out is so much more fun when you're doing it for leisure. Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for a run today. Right. It's not, okay, I gotta go make a beep test and like run back and forth, sprints, you know, training. There's a difference between training for your sport and just working out for leisure. And I like the working out for leisure stuff. Now I miss the competitive aspect of like, I miss games. I miss game day, that electric, like, you know, it's game day, like, oh, that's the best feeling ever. But now on the coaching side of things, I feel the same kind of energy. It's not the exact same, but I'm excited for that with this program and with this team, getting into what that might look like. But no set regiment, to be honest with you. I just kind of, I mean, I enjoy certain things. If I see a cool recipe, somebody will send me something for like healthy muffins with no flour. Like the other day I tried it. It was like bananas, chocolate chips, eggs, and like you put them in the little, then you get muffins with no carbs there. And it's just, and you can add protein powder. So yeah, like I'll try certain stuff. I love food though. So no real diet or restrictions at the moment, but yeah, for some time there, I was a lacto-ovo vegetarian. So I was not eating beef, pork, or no, that was it, just beef or pork. But I would still do chicken, fish, and turkey. So for like 8 years.
Lacto-ovo vegetarian. There are so many different terms out here.
I know, right? I'm like, somebody told me that. I was like, I'm just gonna not eat beef or pork. And they're like,
and they were like, you're a lacto-ovo vegetarian.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, if you say so. So don't quote me on that, because who knows? Maybe somebody else out there probably is like, that's not a real thing. Well, somebody told me it was. I should have fact checked them, but it's whatever.
You
like,
know,
look here. This is what I eat, okay?
Yeah.
I don't eat no red meats.
Yeah. Like, whatever. But yeah. So no, nothing too crazy here. I like everything.
All right. Yeah, you sound like me. I like everything. I can't eat everything all the time, but I like everything.
No, me either, but I'll find a way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I had my donut earlier today, and that was like my weekly treat. Gotta have my donut. Good. Yes, I gotta have one, like at least every. I had one last week too, but usually I'll save up for it, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta have. That is my food of choice when I want to just really be bad. Donuts and French fries. I don't lie.
So, French fries are.
I had my donuts.
If I could like take one food that if they said you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, it'd probably be French fries.
Yes, I think I'm in strong that or pizza. I'm in strong agreement.
Oh, since you are in St. Louis now, have you had Emos yet?
I have not. Is that good? I gotta go there. I know. I'm
gonna make a meme out of that.
Is
that good? Write it down. No, it's an I. It's IMO.
IMO.
Emo. Yes.
Oh, I just love introducing people to emos.
Square beyond compare. That's what they call it.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's a really thin crust pizza, St. Louis style pizza, but it's.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah. You won't be disappointed. Won't be disappointed. It's a St. Louis thing. Like people that grew up here and then they move away. That's like the one thing they're like, I got to get back to St. Louis and get some emos. So
they even have it to where you can ship emos to people like that. Cause I spent 9 years away from St. Louis and it was always like, man, I wish that like somebody can just ship me some emos. And come to find out like, oh, they actually do that.
Wow. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
But there's actually a lot of pizza spots here. That's what we call the St. Louis style pizza. But there's so many pizza spots here. You won't be disappointed when it comes to pizza.
All right,
you know,
good.
I love.
Honestly, I live down the street from a Papa John's, but that doesn't count. No, I love pizza. I think it's just I've explored, but that's the one thing I can't wait to do when things start opening up and getting a little bit more normal is like walking around and finding stuff to like places to eat. Because obviously I think it's just tough right now. Like places are all still a little bit boarded up. Like I don't know what's open, I don't know what's closed. And I've just kind of been keeping to my
They're just like, you know, at minimal capacity, but they're all pretty much open up now. But yeah, just get out and explore. But there's lots of pizza places. But try that Emo's first.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. So, and then going back, it's funny because we just got done having a whole little spiel about pizza, but I wanted to get back and ask, what's your philosophy on health and fitness as far as just people in general? Like, do you have any advice for people who are just looking to live, you know, just a healthier lifestyle?
I think it's all about balance. So, I mean,
I'm with you on that. Yes.
That's it with everything. If you can figure out how to balance your lifestyle, and the biggest thing is make it a lifestyle. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm dieting for like 3 years.
Right.
Like, don't be dieting
that's
for
not
like
gonna
X
last.
amount of
It's not
time.
sustainable.
It's not gonna last. It's not sustainable. Exactly, correct. I think it's just so important to make sure that it's something that just is normal, becomes everyday life to you. Working out to me is kind of a task, but I need to make it a task in order for it to get done. So I have to like schedule and be like, okay, I'm gonna go work out at this time. There are moments where I can be like, oh, I want to go work out, and I just pick up and go. But for the most part, I have to have a set plan in my mind. I like to schedule my entire week out and be like, okay, this is what I've got going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And like the weekends, sure, you can wing it a little bit. Now, my schedule is about to be crazy once we pop into season. So right now I'm taking full advantage of my downtime and my time off.
Oh yeah.
And just having this free open schedule. But I'm really excited to get back to some structure and some everyday kind of, you know, just consistent lifestyle stuff. And so that's my advice to anybody, is to just make it a lifestyle, make sure there's balance implemented. 80-20. Enjoy. Enjoy. Your donut every week. You can probably have 2 if you're really
I had
good.
2 today. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, so you're good. Like,
I had 2, and then I'm gonna have some drinks later on, so it's all good.
Yeah, I had 2. You had 1 and some donut balls.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Correction. So I had 1 glazed donut, and then I had some donut holes. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we call those Timbits in Canada.
Timbits.
They are good.
I'm gonna start calling it Timbits. Yeah. All right. So I can sound
Timbits.
International. Like like I'll have 5 Timbits.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So we talked about, you know, your philosophy on health and fitness. We talked about, you know, as far as your career is concerned and things like that. What does a day in the life of Brianna McCarthy look like? And I know it's going to be different coming up here soon, you know, with your coaching and everything, but just on average, you know, when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed, what does that process look like?
It's always so different. So, I mean, I mean, it really, I could give you like 18 different days. I mean, when I was working at WVU, my GA lifestyle was a balance of being a student and working. And, you know, what that looked like was it didn't leave me a whole lot of time for anything else. Right now with COVID, you know, before I moved to St. Louis, I was training kids. So I was doing individual sessions in Morgantown with high schoolers, some as young as maybe 12, 13, but for the most part, high school age kids that were, you know, just training, wanting to get better, because club soccer had obviously been shut down due to COVID. So I was doing small group sessions, 1 to maybe 3, 4 kids maximum. And so I would be outside for so before I moved to St. Louis for about 2.5 months, I was outside almost every day from like, say, 7 or 8 in the morning to like 7 or 8 at night most days, like just training kids. So that was a normal day for the last 2.5 months. Before that at WVU, it was a combination of school and work. My work now that I'll be doing with SLU, you know, on my interview, we had tons of conversation about what my role will be, but I'll tell you this much: in the world of athletics, there is no set schedule. There is no set, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I'm in charge of like meals, travel, you know, when we go, recruiting is going to be the big one that I'm super excited to get into, and help, you know, finding that talent to come into SLU. That'll be a big focus of mine as well. Once we get into the swing of season, you know, it's scouting other teams, creating scouting reports, managing the girls. Like we have 20 something girls on our team that, you know, between the three of us, well, four of us, because we have a fourth on staff as well, managing those girls. So we've got to, you know, check in with them, see how they're doing. We're their home away from home. And despite having a ton of St. Louis kids, I know how important it is to have a coach that is, you know, there, that I can talk to, that I can relate to. And so I'm so pumped about getting to these girls, getting to work with them, creating and building those relationships. So I think a day in the life for Bree, I could give you a ton of different examples, but it's going to be, you know, maybe a go into the office, get some work done, go out, train with the girls. Maybe we're on the road that weekend. Maybe we're home that weekend. You know, home weekends where we have games are my favorite, because it's like I get to come home to my own bed. You know, it's that level of comfort. Being on the road has its own certain nuances that you get comfortable with as well. Being on the road is like everything is very structured. There's a time. We have an itinerary that we're going to go through. Okay, at 10 o'clock sharp, we're having breakfast as a team. At 12 o'clock, we're training as a team. Then we have, you know, a team meeting at 4 o'clock. Like everything is you have a place to be somewhere at all times. So yeah, I think, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of what the plenty of different days might look like.
It did.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So again, y'all, we are speaking with Bryanna McCarthy, a very, very, very exciting young lady. Did you want to do some housekeeping or anything like that?
Oh yeah, housekeeping. Right. So those who are watching this live, make sure you hit the like button.
Or even if you're not listening to it live.
Or even if you're not listening to it live. But if you're hearing this message, make sure you hit the like button and you share this on your Facebook networks. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, and get those notifications. Also, let's give a few shout outs to some folks listening in. Let's see, we got on the watch party, we got Willie, we got Sharmar, good peoples. We got Samantha, my cousin.
What's up, cousin Samantha?
What's up? And on the live, we got a lot of people on the live. We got Kiki out in Virginia. We got
Corey.
We got Corey.
We got Shamar. What's up, Shamar?
Yep, we got
some more dessert, Shamar.
We got Candace Shelton. We got Shirley.
Candace. Hey.
I don't think that's the same Candace.
Oh, okay.
That's different Candace.
Oh, that's a different Candace.
They got the same exact name.
Same name. That's crazy. Well, hey, then she's my cousin. We all cousins, so.
Yeah. David, we got him. We got folks in listening. What's up, Sierra? Another cousin of mine. My cousins, our cousins collectively be listening.
They be listening.
But a lot of folks be listening. Again, we want to thank everybody for checking in on the show and supporting the show and our wonderful guests that we have on the show every single week.
That is what's up. That's what's up. So, question, Bryanna.
Yes.
Besides coaching at SLU, do you have any other career moves that you are currently making, or is coaching what you want to focus on right now?
Coaching is definitely what I want to focus on at the moment. But then coaching is just an umbrella to so many other things. So when I was in Morgantown, I did a lot of individual sessions with kids. I'd like to hopefully tap into the club system here as well in St. Louis. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. Katie says, it'll be great for me to get connected with the club team here. And I like that aspect. Obviously, coaching the college athletes is definitely my favorite, if I can have a favorite. But I also really enjoy like developing kids right around that 13, 14, 15 age group. I feel like that's where they're sponges. They're going to soak up so much. I mean, the grassroots level, I'll tell you what, it's so important, but it's so tough. And I don't know that I'm cut from the cloth to work with young children, if I'm being honest. I mean, sure, I can absolutely adapt. I can do it. It's just not my absolute favorite thing, if I'm being honest with you. So I love working with kids right around the ages of like 13 to 17. Quality. And then obviously college athletes, that's where I feel like I feel so comfortable with the college athletes, because it's just so relatable, because that was like my last era that I can truly relate to. Like the younger kids, I'm like, I can't even relate to you guys anymore. You guys are just like TikToking and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't relate. I mean, not that the college girls aren't doing that too, but yeah, I think that all in all, if I can tap into that club system, I think that'll be great. Further down the line, I would love to like retire at home in Canada and like be the director of a club and like just kind of hang out and oversee coaches, you know, not really, and, you know, hopefully be able to be home doing the whole family thing for a lot of the times, but that management and working in that side of the coaching world. I'd love to coach an international team at some point, coach at the professional level. I mean, all dreams, all aspirations. I think it'll change. I think now that I'm finally, you know, dipping my foot in the college coaching world, I think I'll be interested to see just like what I really think of it, because I commend all of the female coaches that are doing it and having families and husbands and wives and kids and all of that stuff, and being able to balance the two. Because for so, like when I was at West Virginia, it was like I only had to manage, like it was like, okay, I had to take care of me and school and work. And then I'm like, what if I have to add like a family into that? Like it's stuff that I'm just like, it's incredible. But I have a lot of great, I mean, the head coach that I work for, she's doing it. Nikki, who I worked for at West Virginia, incredible. She's a mother of 3 and has been killing it. So I think it's just a matter of finding what that might look like. So I'm just super pumped to see where it takes me. Well, I'm rolling 1 week at a time.
Yeah, we're pumped for you. And I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye out for you, because I think everything that you are doing is nothing short of amazing. You did bring up, you're welcome. You did bring up, you were talking about, you know, the kids and how maybe possibly that would be something that you would do. And you are definitely Black girl magic at its finest.
Black girl magic.
So for the little Black girls out there who might be watching and they're saying, wow, like she looks like me, like I want to be like that, what advice would you give them?
Again, that glass ceiling that you know is there that we don't want to talk about, just keep knocking at it. Just keep knocking at it. Understand and know that no matter what, if you believe in yourself, you're halfway there. That's literally all it takes. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever doubt your abilities. Just know and understand that whether you have, you know, I was so blessed to have this support system behind me, and I understand what it's like to, and I've seen people with no support system behind them and still manage to accomplish the things that they've sought out to do. Right. And I think regardless of what your situation is, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, create a checklist, you know, create a vision board, make your dreams, make your dreams become real in the law of attraction, in just recognizing that you are in control of your own destiny, and just really, really relying on people. Like that's my biggest thing. Is it's taken me a long time to ask people for help. I used to think that I could do it all by myself, and I still at times catch myself like trying to do things all by myself. I'll actually share one quick story and then I promise we can continue. But when I moved here, the day I was moving here, the movers that I had they were like, oh, our times don't match up. Like, so I had them scheduled to come here on a Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. because that's when my moving truck was scheduled to come here. They were like, oh, well, we can only come between the hours of 11 and 2 p.m. And I'm like, well, I don't know that my truck is going to be here, and I don't want to pay for a service, and you guys can't help me move. So like the day before my truck is getting here, I had movers cancel on me. So I call my dad, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, Dad, like, what do I do? He's like, Bree, call like a youth group or like a church and see if there's some young people that might want to help you or like whatever. I was like, oh my God, like, you're right. Like, well, actually, no, I lied. At first I was like, oh, that's like, whatever, Dad. Like, of course. And then I called. I literally just typed in a youth group on Google. First one that pops up, I believe, was Unsung Angels Youth Organization. Okay. And so, yeah, it was James Baldwin Sr. Get him on the phone. I'm like, hi, my name is Brianna McCarthy. I just moved to St. Louis. Do you have any young people, 15, 16, 17, 18, older, that would want to help me unload a truck? Like, I've got, my moving truck here. It's going to get here later this was the next day, obviously, later this afternoon. I got $50 each for maybe an hour or two of work, 2 kids. I could spare $100. I was going to pay $200 for movers, $300 for movers. So he goes, oh my God, yeah, I got 2 boys right here. Like, give us the address. We'll be right there. And I was like, so I called my dad back. I was like, you know how much I hate saying this, but like, you were right. Like, I got 2 boys coming, like, seemed super cool. So he came and helped me. They were his sons. So they came and they helped me, and we unloaded everything. I helped them. I hiked up my sleeves, and even though I got a bad back, I helped them out, and we got it done. But it was just like, it was one of those things where my dad to the rescue again. And I just shared such a good moment with him and his sons, because we were just talking about the importance of, how you're raised and the work that he's doing in the community. And I was just so thankful that he was literally the first person I met in St. Louis. And just to build that connection, I told him, I was like, listen, like, obviously I got a lot going on, but youth group, like, if there's anything I can ever do, like, to help, to volunteer, like, I was just so thankful for like us crossing paths that way. And like, it was just, oh, it was great. It was great. So important. So yeah, I think just making connections with people. That's the other thing. Not being afraid to ask for help. Because you never know what doors those are going to open or what opportunities that's going to lead to. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's very inspirational. So we want to ask because we're getting to the fun part here in just a second.
Fun part. Yeah.
Before we get to that, we want to ask you, where can anyone who wants to, I know that you said you don't have a Facebook, but if they want to follow you, if they just want to know more about you, or, just be inspired by you, where can one find you?
I actually just created a new Instagram account. It is Coach Bree McCarthy.
McCarthy. Okay.
Yep. Coach Bree McCarthy on Instagram. I guess I am on Twitter. I don't tweet often, but it's BreeMac33, BRYMAC 33. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. And then SLU's athletic department website. That's where, like, the team, will be all of our scores and updates, but that's hoping that we have a season, which I really hope that, COVID just slows its roll.
She said, look, you want to find me, you go to the game.
So did they give you like a plan B? Let's say, things are not open back up in time. Will everything just continue on maybe for the following season, or how does that work?
I know. So I think there's the conversation of potentially a later start date to the season, starting everything maybe in like an October. But then it's like, okay, well, how much are we going to get in if the plan for a lot of schools is that after Thanksgiving, kids are going home and staying home. So it's like, what is that going to look like for a season? There's the conversation about moving fall sports to spring.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And that just leads to some difficult decisions for coaches, because you have, as a fall sport, you have players, seniors, who would be graduating in December. So then it's like, okay, well, now you're looking at a team and money, scholarships. If you have that kid graduating, but now the season doesn't start till spring and they have to stay on, and you have incoming kids, and it just leads to a whole lot of heartache.
Stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
Go away.
Corona be gone. So,
Wow.
and here's the bottom line of everything. And I know SLU doesn't have football, but football will decide everything for us right now. Whatever football does, we will follow. Because if it's safe for football to play, we'll play. If it's not safe for football to play, we won't play. And so I think everybody right now is just trying to figure out what that's going to look like. Some of the big Power 5 conferences have come out and started saying that they're only going to play conference games. So that now eliminates some of our games. So yeah, it's just figuring out what our season might look like, or whatever's going to be left of it, what that might look like. Because if the Big Ten only plays Big Ten teams, we lose Michigan, we lose Iowa. If the Big 12 only plays Big 12 games, we lose Iowa State, we lose Oklahoma State. So that's 4 games right there.
Got it.
And that's just right now. So we'll see. I'm still super optimistic about it. I do hope that we can play and that the girls will have a great year. I mean, regardless of what happens, I'm just happy to be here.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, if you all are listening, this is the Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow podcast. Again, please give us a like, a share on Facebook, or if you're listening on YouTube, you can also give us a like and also share our channel, as well as subscribe and hit that notification bell. And also don't forget our podcast,
Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow podcast at podbean.com.
There you go.
Which it will very soon be on Spotify. Got a couple more requirements we got to get done. Basically, one more episode. It should start to be on Spotify and iTunes.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. So we're about to get into some fun real quick.
All right.
So Brianna, we have a fun segment where we like to throw out some questions at you. We call it This or That. So just, real fast, we're just going to spit out something at you. And most of the time we just freestyle this. So we just think of it off the fly and you tell us which one. Can I start it off real quick?
Sure.
All right. Canada or the US? I had to.
Canada.
Okay.
Despite, and I know, well, let me explain.
You ain't got to.
Canada's home. Canada's always going to be home.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. We got our issues up there too, but America's got a lot going on right now.
Now? Just right now? No,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Listen, we can
go. I know.
No, definitely. That's home to me. It'll always be home. US has been my home for the last 8 years. But in the grand scheme of things, I think of it as this is my opportunity, because coaching doesn't hold the same, I don't want to say wealth. There's just not nearly as much opportunity. There's no NCAA in Canada, college sports, college athletics in Canada. If you're an athlete in Canada and you're an elite athlete, you have aspirations of going to the States. So it's the same thing with coaching. This is where the job has taken me. So I'm okay with that. My family, they're still working on it, but they're okay with it too. I mean, I left home when I was 17 and haven't technically been back since. So they'll be okay.
I left home when I was 17, ain't been back since. I just be making up songs on the fly like this.
Really? What's your next this or that?
Okay, so we're talking on the subject of Canada stuff. Drake or The Weeknd?
Oh, Drake.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Drake on that one too.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were talking about some of the differences between Canada and the US before the show. So what would be the this or that with that? What are the things you like about Canada versus the things you like about the States?
It up on us.
I'm freestyling.
All right.
It's a this or that.
This or that. So I know it's tough because the United States, I feel like, is so different in so many different places. Like, I lived in Morgantown, West Virginia. That was a college town. And then now I'm in St. Louis. And then I lived in Buffalo. Through soccer, I've traveled all across the country. I've been on the West Coast. I've been, I have family in Florida as well. I think the United States, the this or that, or just the concepts of what might be different between the two is just, I don't know. There is no real difference.
Okay.
Yeah. There's culturally, I just feel like there's more diversity, but that's also because I lived in Morgantown, West Virginia, and Rochester / Buffalo, New York. Which is actually quite close. Buffalo, I ended up being only like an hour and a half from home in Toronto. So it wasn't that far distance-wise, but the US definitely just has, I don't know. It's just, it's a different world. You cross the border and you're like, oh, I'm in the United States. Looking around, there's no difference. But the people that you meet, the people that you interact with, I think it's just a different mentality. Yeah.
Got it. I've actually been to Canada once, barely. Yeah. It was just because we were visiting family in Detroit, so we, crossed the border. We're like, oh, we're in a different country now. It was that simple. So yeah, I can technically say that I've been to Canada before. All right, I got a this chat for you. I thought I did. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Let's see. Since you are the traveling athlete, plane, train, or bus?
Oh, plane. I like to get there. I don't like to. I mean, when I was in Europe, we trained a lot. I hate being on a bus. I get bus sick, but like I spend a lot of time on a bus. This season we're going to spend a lot of time on a bus if we have to. So yeah, definitely plane. And then I got a little spoiled because like when I was at West Virginia, we were in the Big 12, so we had to fly to all of our conference games. There was not one conference game that we could drive to. Iowa State being the closest from Morgantown. So yeah, I got really comfortable to just hopping on planes, kind of jet setting around. Yeah, definitely plane. Let's just get there. Let's get there. Let's get our handle our business and get back. Yeah, let's get in. Let's get out. Let's do it.
All right. iPhone or Android?
iPhone for sure. Team Apple. Even though they low key like be stealing our money, and everything is so expensive. But you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, you look up and got those random iTunes charges because you downloaded an app and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm like, whoa.
Like, they just hit me up for $3.99. I didn't even know it.
Yeah, like
pennies are money. Oh, I don't know.
That's okay. Hulu or Netflix? I'm looking at the Hulu floating around on the TV.
Ooh, okay. So listen, I'm like a perfect split between the middle, but I'm probably going to, okay. So at my old apartment, I didn't have cable. I just had Hulu with the live TV option. But now when I moved here, they're like, AT&T was like, it's going to be so much cheaper if you bundled TV and internet. And I was like, I don't want TV. And they were like, oh, it's going to be X amount of dollars. I was like, that's, you know what? Whatever. That's how they got me for sure.
How they got you.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered with this. I need Wi-Fi. So I bundled it and I got AT&T TV. So now I have that, and I feel like I don't need the Hulu anymore. I'm not going to pay $54.99 a month if I don't need that because I got live TV here. But I really enjoy some of the Hulu originals. So I might just keep like my Hulu like regular subscription. But obviously those Netflix, originals are also great. I'm really torn between the two. But I mean, Netflix is the OG. So like I'll go with Netflix for the case of, what we're doing. But I really like Hulu too.
All right.
AT&T TV and chill.
Yeah, for real. He was trying to explain to me, the guy came to install everything and he was like, do you want another box in your bedroom? I said, no. I said, keep your boxes because you charged me an extra $7 for that box. Keep your box. I was like, no, I don't want your box. So yeah, no, AT&T TV is just whatever.
All right, I got one more. Hip hop or R&B?
Ooh. So I'm gonna go with R&B because. Can I give you an answer? Am I supposed to explain them? I feel like I've been explaining them already. Okay,
explain it.
He was gonna ask you why anyway.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with R&B because I'm that like weird person who like when I'm working out, I'm normally listening to like some R&B slow jams. Like I'm not listening to like hype, pump me up music. I mean, sometimes I am. Mm-hmm. But like majority of the times, I like listening to just chill music. Like
I can be like that. I was just telling my cousin matter of fact, the day we met you, because I think I was listening to Masego, and I was like, yeah, you know, I can work out to chill music. Like it helps put my mind at ease.
My
I can do either
favorite like workout album is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like I
that's
can
just
put
my favorite album of all time. Period.
Start to finish. And like it's just
that is very interesting. So you can be up in there like Case of the X and like it ain't working. Ugh.
Case of the X.
Yeah, not Case of the
X. I'm about to say
X Factor. X Factor.
I was like, what song is that?
I knew what you meant.
Case of the X is actually Maya, but X Factor.
I was gonna say, that's definitely Maya. But all good.
But you can never go wrong with Lauryn Hill. That's like my favorite.
No, and you know who's my new favorite? Who kind of gives me Lauryn Hill vibes? Is her. That? I absolutely love her. Oh my god, I like
her. She
is so smooth. Yeah, she is so smooth. Yeah,
pretty dope. I can't lie. Yeah.
See me, I gotta go and listen to my club sets when I work out.
He's a DJ, so he's gonna.
Oh yeah, you need something to get you going all the time,
right?
Yeah.
Mood music. See, my mood music is chill, mellow, like.
Yeah,
just hanging out, having a good time.
Which I definitely have my chill moments, but working out is like, nah, I need that.
Needs that pump
energy. I need some BPMs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a absolute pleasure speaking with you today, Brianna. Again, if you're listening, we were speaking with Brianna McCarthy. She is the new assistant coach for soccer at SLU. So be sure to check her out at the avenues that she mentioned as far as what did you have? You had your Twitter and then also your Instagram. So look her up. And again, we enjoyed you. You have any last words to say?
No. We got another comment. Someone says that their daughter attends SLU, and congratulations on your new venture.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That. And thank you guys so much for having me. I mean, this has been so much fun. It's totally it's just a conversation. And with COVID and me just being new here, I was like, when you asked me, I was like, absolutely. That sounds like so much fun. So no, I've had a blast. So thank you guys so much for having me. I've really enjoyed this.
You're welcome. Well, stay on the line and we're going to chat with you just for a few minutes as we exit the show. Any last words?
No, like, share, subscribe, comment, post, all that, tag. You're it.
All right. Peace, everybody.
All right. Later.